the same incident, the same issue, and two different reports. One from outside, one from within. On most occasions, we look at ourselves as doing terribly bad, when in reality, it is not as bad as it is. It is that we look at the bad things, and we report bad things more than the good ones. So that's my challenge. So as a leader, you need to be mindful of others' perspectives, because whatever decision you want to take, whether you have competitors from elsewhere, children becoming doctors, becoming lawyers, becoming whatever. That's a vision of what you want your family to be. But you have to think seriously about how do you get them to where you want them to be. And that's the essence. If you don't think about that, it will get to a point where you'll be stuck. You are a government worker, you have your salary, and you want your children to attend the best universities, and that costs money. If you don't plan ahead, if you don't think ahead and look at the problems that are likely to emanate, think into the future, you are likely to have problems at one point. And what I'm supposed to talk about, strategic. Strategic indicates two things. It's about where you are, location. It's about action that you are taking. So when we talk strategic, it's about two things. This level where you are and the actions you are taking. Results is about outcome, about what you have. So when you combine the two, what we're thinking and what we're talking about is think seriously about what you're doing and the likely effect in the future. If my PowerPoint had come up, next slide. Yeah, I started with that. Those are the three things I'm talking about. So we need leadership. So leaders must be strategic thinkers. Next slide. Next. I asked the question, are we the only country that has problems? Because we're always complaining. We have problems, we have issues. And I put three different newspaper reports there. 1988 and up to 2002. In 1988, 1983, 1988, the same problem we are complaining about today. Standard of living. Oh, things are bad. We're having problems. 2002, IBB challenged General Obasanjo. And that's why I was telling Dr. Lennox, I don't want to come when General Obasanjo will be here, otherwise he will conquer me. IBB challenging. The nation is in crisis. People are complaining. Today, the same complaint. So what is the problem? What is the issue? What are we facing? Well, attitude. Our attitude has changed. Seriously. We think about issues based on individual and group, not on the national issue. Everything we talk about is about ethnicity, it's about religion, not about the nation, Nigeria. And yet we want things to move. And then all of a sudden, we have so many things coming up in the world today. Next slide. And the middle one, News Watch, is talking about Japa back in 1988. And today we are still shouting Japa. Nigerians have been moving out, not today, because we always look for greener pasture. So what do we need to do to hold on to our citizens? That's the challenge we have. Not just about, oh, everybody is moving, we must move. And it's the problem of government. Next slide, please. The slide before this one, let me go to this one, but the one before that, I used example of what is happening in the UK. 17th of August, just about a few days ago, the Daily Mail in UK, the same newspaper, three different articles. One was talking about sending kids to universities with degrees that are useless, even in UK. In Nigeria, we're talking about the same thing. People reading or studying areas that we believe are useless to us. And secondly, a policeman challenging owners of shops, owners of supermarkets to ensure that their shops are secured. And then a reporter is challenging that person. Who are you to tell people to ensure that their stores are safeguarded? When in reality, one, politicians, two, judges. And the security agencies are given criminals the opportunity to do whatever they like with impunity. Because in UK now, in some stores, in some areas, bad guys enter a supermarket, take whatever they need to take, and they walk out. The owners of the supermarket are not challenging them because they are afraid of being knifed. The same thing is happening in the US. We are not the only countries that are having problems. It is how we manage those crises, those problems that matter. And that's where strategic thinking comes in. And I'm warning, the warning I'm putting with this one is about reportage. It's about what we read and what we see as a result, which might not be true. The same incident, Ojidoba issue in this July this year, in Djibouti, and you have two different reports. BBC News reported, and it says, culture and color come out in praise of a Nigerian king, even though the king is late now. Somebody reporting color and culture, and encouraging Britons to be part of what is happening in Djibouti on an annual basis, because this is a multi-billion pound event. And then Vanguard Nigerian newspaper, read what it said. Again, chaotic Ojidioba 2025 fails to meet global standard. Two different reports, the same incident, the same issue, and two different reports. One from outside, one from within. On most occasions, we look at ourselves as doing terribly bad, when in reality, it is not as bad as it is. It is that we look at the bad things, and we report bad things more than the good ones. So that was my challenge. So as a leader, you need to be mindful of others' perspectives, because whatever decision you want to take, whether you have competitors from elsewhere. Secondly, it's not all that you read or see that is actually true. So you must have the mind to think through whatever you are seeing or reading. Essence is about leadership and strategic thinking. Next slide, please. I put there Mike Tyson after defeating Van der Holyfield, and he was asked, what was your strategy? He said, and I quote, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. So you must be wary that there's somebody out there who will work against you. Whatever you do, as a strategic thinker, you must always have other people's perspective in whatever you do. And I put, those are the requirements. What do you want to achieve? Who is the adversary? What are you contending against? How or what are the ways? You must have the capacity and capability to do whatever you want to do, and the rest are there. Next slide, because I have a few minutes. Next slide. It's all about strategy. But unfortunately, even in the military has been warned. There is a Shane Presswater who is in Royal United Services Institute of England, and he said, when you look at this, the way the military look at strategy, it is wrong. Because if there is no crisis, there is no problem, you can't have strategy. What you have is plan. And then militarily, we look at strategy as ends, means, and ways. And there are so many scholars who have said, if you look at strategy on that three bases, you are not going to be innovative. Because the end is given to you, or you've determined what you want to achieve. The ways is your capacity and capability. The means is the resources available to you. And those three things are known. So you can't be innovative if you depend on those three things. So I put there, what do you need? You need to identify the risks involved. If I want to move from this place to maybe Guagualada or Guarimpa, I can think in terms of going by road or getting a taxi. And how many minutes will it take me? 5, 10 minutes, I'm there. That's just mere thinking. You are not strategizing. You must look at the risks involved. What happened if the vehicle broke down? What happened if I'm attacked on the road? So many risks, and it is the risks that will give you options. And that's the essence of strategic thinking. That's what I'm trying to explain there. And strategy is all about leadership. It's all about decision making. And General Colin Powell was asked, what do you understand by leadership? Simple, decision making. You are a decision maker. And wherever you are, whatever you are a leader, and you are supposed to be a strategic thinker. Next slide, please. I put Mike McKeown, he wrote a book, 2020. And it says strategic thinking is about opening the mind to possibilities. We're always constrained, particularly in Africa, especially in Nigeria. We believe, oh, this is not possible. There's nothing impossible in life. And it said, open your mind. Doing the mental juggling, go between one thing and the other. There will be problems, yes. Those problems have opportunities. Thank God the first speaker mentioned about COVID-19 in so many places. When COVID-19 and the shutdown came, a lot of people believed that's the end of life. But so many people exploited the situation and made so much money. Those are opportunities. For every problem, there's an opportunity. And he said you must link ideas from different fields about what you are talking about. He's asking unconforming questions. We like to be comfortable. Oh, I don't like to disturb anybody. If you don't ask yourself unconforming questions, then you won't be a strategic thinker. Next slide, because it takes time. And it involves you breaking down the whole thing to get whatever you want to get to. I put there Lawrence Friedman, another one of those who believed to be one of the greatest strategists in the world. He wrote that book, Strategy in History. And he said strategic thinking turns an individual strategist into a gifted and smart strategist. If you don't think strategically, you can't be a gifted strategist. You'll be a good planner, but not a gifted strategist. Because you'll be keeping between hands. You have been asked to do something. How do I go about it? Can I do it? I cannot do this. Do I go this way? If I do this, what is the likely effect? Your mind is moving. So you juggle. You circle between present opportunities and future possibilities. What are possible in the future? What are the opportunities I have today? What are the possibilities into the future? And we've been challenged. Look into different fields. Let the young ones challenge themselves. If you go to the university and you come out, it's not, the government cannot employ up to 20% of the workforce. Everybody wants to be employed by government, and that's one of the greatest problems we have. We should start challenging ourselves. And I put there, we've been doing all these things in my village. And like any other African village, there's this belief that if you're a young man and you can think deeply and you can wash your hand cleanly, you dine, you sit and dine with elders. What are they talking about? Strategic thinking, even though not codified. That's the essence of what they're saying. But unfortunately, we have to wait for somebody from outside. All our solutions must come from outside. Nobody will solve Nigeria's problem. We are the owner of the problem will be solved by us. Solution is not coming from anywhere. And next slide. Next. Sorry about the way it's coming. Experts are put forward. In some books, you read about 4 principles. Some will give you 6 principles. And I've listed the P's. You can add your own P's. You must have a plan. If you want to be a strategist, even though people like our Diaga said planning and strategy, they are not the same thing. But even when you strategize, if you still go to plan, you must have a plan. What do you want to do? 2, you must be prepared. I have a colleague who gave a lecture and said there are 3 R's in Nigeria, or globally, generally. But in Nigeria, we want the first R and the third R. The first is resource, not just gold, whatever. Humans are part of the resources available to you. And then the third is result, which is what I'm talking about. But the middle one, refining, we don't like doing any, no, I don't want problem. No, I don't tie. Others do the thinking for. Nobody's going to think for you. You must refine your resources to get the results. And that's what we're discussing today. Then, the pattern. There is nothing in life that you cannot identify. What are the things that lead to this? But you must take your mind beyond that. The likely consequences you want to attain and the unlikely ones. Because in life, particularly at the strategic level, you solve a problem to create another problem. If we are looking at security, we are pumping money into it, other areas are suffering, education, health. So if the government does not have strategic thinkers, we continue to grow around the clock. We solve one problem and then the other one is surmounted and we keep on running around. What is the position? What is the area you want to focus on? So many problems you must identify. And I've simplified. Please show it. Focus, area, and balance analysis, which I put as Fab A. Forget about all the P's. What you need is, what do I want to do? Focus yourself. Area, what particular area do I need to prioritize? And then you must do balance analysis of what you want to achieve. That is the only reason or the only way by which you can continue to have results. And that's why I put it as Fab A, because the analysis is not a big one. Next slide. You need to understand, as a leader, ABC of leadership, your attitude, your behavior, and the context, the environment in which you operate matters a lot. No matter the strategy you develop, the culture of the area must be put into proper perspective, otherwise your strategy is a failure from the beginning. You must note that problems are becoming wicked. COVID-19 is a wicked problem. They are wicked problems nowadays. There are no procedure to solve them. The problem are either good or bad. They are not right or wrong. They are not right or wrong. COVID-19, whatever you do, is either it's good or this is working, or no, it's not working. But that you want to say it's right or wrong, no. And then I put there, what are the requirements to be a strategic thinker? To deliver successfully, you exercise power. We love power. Yeah, you exercise it, you get people to do your job, but are they really working for you? Second one, if you don't communicate, if you don't coach people, if you don't bring people up, you'll be a failure, because when you go, there's nobody to take over from you. And then the third one is deliver. That's just mere delivering. But if you want to be a strategic leader, a strategic thinker, you must go into inspiring and socializing. You must relate with people, because no matter what you do in life, it's about people. You must have the ability to diagnose. Don't just say, oh, what's this? God not there anywhere. You must think through and diagnose and come up with what you want to do. And finally, you must take decisions. Next, lower part of the something else. Next, please. Next. No, go. I put there, you must, go back, please. You have to distinguish between three things. There will be human problems, there will be environmental problems, there will be technological problems in the contemporary era. Each of those three things require different solutions, different ways of handling. The way you handle people is not the way you handle technology. If you are not technologically savvy, there is nothing you can do. You'll be a consumer. And that's the challenge the Madam has given to us. We must encourage ourselves. The way you deal with people, it depends on the culture, it depends on the ability. And that's why nowadays people will tell you, as a leader, don't say you are this type of leader. You must encompass any form of leadership, transformational, whatever need. And unfortunately nowadays we have problems, like I mentioned, wicked problems that are defied procedure. So you must be a team player for you to be able to achieve whatever you needed to do. But you need to get over your personal biases. Every one of us carry biases, but you must get over those personal biases for you to be able to perform or to achieve results. If you don't get over it, you cannot achieve results. You might force you to do something, but at the end of the day, you don't achieve results. And finally, you must separate facts from narratives or perspectives. Thank you for listening to me.